you ready to take your business, career, and mindset to the next level? Then it's time to join the conversation on Laquita's Toolbox. Whether you're an entrepreneur, leader, or someone just looking to level up, this show is packed with powerful insights and real strategies to help you succeed. Imagine yourself here, sharing your story, your expertise, and making a real impact with an audience ready to grow and thrive. With Laquita's Toolbox, you'll be inspired, empowered, and part of an incredible community that's all about winning. This is your moment. Don't miss the opportunity to be a guest on Laquita's Toolbox. Unlock new doors, connect with like-minded professionals, and elevate your brand to new heights. Ready to make your mark? Head over to www.laquitamonley.com, Laquita's Toolbox, and sign up to be a guest today. Are you ready to take your business, career, and mindset to the next level? Then it's time to join the conversation on Laquita's Toolbox. Whether you're an entrepreneur, leader, or someone just looking to level up, this show is packed with powerful insights and real strategies to help you succeed. Imagine yourself here, sharing your story, your expertise, and making a real impact with an audience ready to grow and thrive. With Laquita's Toolbox, you'll be inspired, empowered, and part of an incredible community that's all about winning. This is your moment. Don't miss the opportunity to be a guest on Laquita's Toolbox. Unlock new doors, connect with like-minded professionals, and elevate your brand to new heights. Ready to make your mark? Head over to www.laquitamonley.com, Laquita's Toolbox, and sign up to be a guest today.
Welcome, everybody, to tonight's episode of Laquita's Toolbox Live. How are you? Listen, I apologize. Technical difficulty. That's what it's like when you're doing it live. Everything that's happening, you get to see it real and in person. But we have finally made it. Thank you so much for your patience. For those of you that are just joining us for the very first time for Laquita's Toolbox Live, welcome. We really look forward to having you join us in the conversation. Please don't hesitate to get in the comment section and let us know what you think about the conversation. Join the conversation. We look forward to you adding value in tonight's conversation. And tonight, I am going to be joined by none other than Miss Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom. So those of you that are joining us across the various social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, also on the Parade Deck TV, as well as the Daily Faith Network. Welcome to the show. Hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons, and let's get this broadcast out to as many people as possible. Those of you that are returning viewers, we appreciate you. Indeed, we do appreciate you. But without further ado, let me bring up Miss Lachelle.
Hey.
Girl.
Oh, man. That was nothing compared to the real live that we had to do on stage. Because I had a story about that, right?
Oh, man. Look. I'm like, and it's because this is the second week in a row. Like, why my tech keep acting up?
Okay. I didn't know it was the second week in a row.
Second week in a row. Last week, my tech was acting up too. But we are here, praise the name of the Lord.
We're here.
Yes.
And you got an audience. I see Raquel and Queenie and Kim. Hey, glad to see y'all.
Yes.
I told her we were just making a fashionable entrance, right?
Right.
My husband's like, I thought you had a broadcast. He's like, I'm making up something, right? I'm like, it's all over.
I promise, Jerome, we had a broadcast. I promise.
It's true.
I promise we have a broadcast. We have a conversation. Miss Raquel, welcome. She said it's so amazing. She's happy to see amazing ladies. I couldn't even read that.
It's okay. It's all right. Hey, Raquel, I saw your pictures from your filming. So I'm excited to see when it airs and everything. So
right. It's just season 1. It's
Mhm.
coming out soon, it's coming out soon. But listen, guys, I know many of you, hello, Miss Chin, because I'm
Mhm.
trying not to mess up her first name. See, I should send her a link so she could pop in and tell me, make sure I'm saying it right.
Okay.
I don't want I don't want to mess up her first name, but look, everybody that is joining us across the various social media platforms, LinkedIn is in the house making some great representation tonight. Thank you so much for showing up. Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much for showing up. The Daily Faith Network, as well as the Parade Deck TV network. Thank you guys so much for showing up on tonight. We appreciate you so very much. And now also on our Facebook. Thank you so much for the Facebook community for showing up. You know, Meta been getting on my nerves, but we're not going to talk about that tonight because tonight we're talking about the Military Influencers Conference. We're not going to talk about how Meta got on my last nerve. I'm going to call them Meta. I don't even want to call you Facebook right now because
I understand. Hey, I'm just laughing because, tech is not my thing. I couldn't help you at all. So, I just sit back and chill.
listen, I'm like, oh my God, LinkedIn is gonna kick me out. I don't have but a few minutes. I can't send out new YouTube links, Lord. What are we
Yeah.
gonna do? And then I remembered StreamYard will let me run my commercials while we sort this out. So
Oh,
that I
well,
won't
good.
lose the link. See, so you got to be able to pivot. You have to be able to operate under pressure, right? Like, what
I
can
love
we
that.
do as a temporary solution to the
Yes.
problems that we might be facing, right? What is a
Mm,
solution to the problems we might be
right.
facing? But look, tonight we are coming in. Those of you that are joining us, just giving people a few minutes to get on in the room as if we weren't already running late with those few minutes. Those of you that have stuck around, thank you so much. Praise the name of the Lord. Thank you so much. Some of you may have been looking at the title and saying, "What in the world?"
Now, where are you going?
I don't know where I'm going. I've left. Down a little bit more, a little bit more. So you see the tech. So look, we're trying to make sure we get the right camera angles. No, like you can only see this much of my head. No, now I'm not in the frame at all. Lower it.
Oh, Lord.
Lower more. Lower more.
You guys, now this is some stuff that most people would have been like, oh my gosh,
More.
stressed out. I just laugh, right?
Look,
I mean,
I'm learning. Okay, perfect. Now over to the side. There you go. There you go. Yeah, but now if that's the right angle, but we're gonna leave it there tonight. We're gonna leave it there.
okay. Because I was wondering. I'm like, I know I'm short, but
Right. There we go. Now you like the angle is off though. Oh my bad. Now I'm getting in trouble
oh Lord. Okay.
because I don't follow
You
directions.
got your monitor. Okay.
I've got yes, so that's one of the monitors.
Oh, you have to turn that so they can see.
So
Is that how
yes,
that's working?
yes, so the camera
Okay.
person can see.
Learning something. This is on the
Yeah,
job training, y'all. You getting some free
right,
training.
right. Now I'm tilted a little
I
bit.
love it.
You see me? You can't fix that yet, but we're good. We're good. All right. Okay. So we're gonna be right here tonight. It's showing
Okay.
much more than what I wanted to normally show. It's showing much more than what I wanted to normally show. But look, it's here. It's here.
Okay.
You know, you're
You
right. Like
said behind the scenes, girl. You
it is,
named it.
it's so totally
You
behind the scenes
named it.
because there was a time when I would have just passed out for a little bit because oh my God,
Yeah.
this is happening right here on the live, and it is not
Mhm.
perfect. What's happening now? Like, why is this happening to me, Jesus?
Right.
But now, you know, I'm not mad because I've grown and because I understand the issue. So,
Right.
you know, we were blessed to cover an amazing event on Saturday. And so coming
Mm,
back, resetting everything up in the studio for Sunday, and then jumping in here tonight and doing the lives that we had to do tonight. You
mhm.
everything wasn't set up as properly as it should have been to be able to go back live because we use the equipment to go out in the community and
Mm,
to support an event. So, praise the name of the Lord. But we gonna keep
it's
on.
good, girl. Well,
We
tell
gonna
us about Saturday. What happened?
So on Saturday, shout out to Miss Amanda McCullough. I met Amanda at the MIC at the Military Influencers Conference a couple of weeks ago
Okay.
in Atlanta, and she is the founder of Woman's Woman Veterans Calendar, which is a nonprofit organization. All funds and
Oh,
proceeds from that
yeah.
organization help to support initiatives from other women veterans. And so it was just to bring awareness to the women veteran community. And that event on Saturday was so phenomenal because I learned a lot of facts about different things with women
Mhm,
veterans that I didn't know before. So, like everybody in the country, we had to take history, and we've learned that women have been a part of the military officially and unofficially since the beginning, right? From
mhm.
Revolutionary War, Civil War, so on and so forth. But what I didn't realize until this event with one of the keynote speakers is that our women veteran community, though they have been recognized, they'd only been recognized partially. And so it wasn't until the 80s that women veterans started to receive full compensation, full benefits like their male counterparts. Not that it was illegal, but people did not want to tell women what they were entitled to, or in some instances would flat out lie what they were
Mm,
entitled to after their military service was over. Unlike with men got access to the information, women did not. There had to be
I
some
see.
laws put in place for women to get what they deserve, what they earned uh, because of their military service. The 80s not that long ago, y'all. Some of
Right.
y'all was born in the 80s on this live right here.
It's true.
So,
It's
right?
true.
And women have been serving in the military again since the creation of this nation. So why did it have to take
Mm,
so long for their service to be recognized and them to be properly compensated after they've either retired or be separated from the military? That was
mm.
like when the speaker brought that out, I was like, wow, the 80s?
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's not long ago. That's not long
It's
ago
not.
at all. So I learned so many wonderful things. That was just one of the things that really popped out in my mind. So we were there to support that event, um, to interview some people, have some amazing individuals on the podcast. It's about 5 speakers there.
Mm.
For the podcast. So I'm looking forward to putting out that special edition of the podcast in support of the women's veterans community. So
Now,
if
when are those calendars gonna be ready? I saw the Instagram, so now I remember
the
what you were talking
calendars are ready right now. The
about. Okay.
calendars are ready right now. So if any of you are interested, just continue to check the comment section, and we will
Mm,
have a link where if you want to purchase those calendars, any of those calendars, then you definitely please feel free to do that. Um, Also, with that, if you are a woman veteran and you'd like to be a cover girl for the calendar, it's not risque at all. It's
mhm,
so you can also find that information out on the website. I want to say that she is looking for 2026 models for the calendar, and you'll be able to find all of that information on the Women's Veterans Calendar website on how to become a model for the calendar. Each uh, female veteran will get a month. So it can only be 12 that are chosen per year. And each of them get a month. And on that calendar, they talk about on your month, they talk about who you are, what you did, the impact of your service, and just, a few closing remarks about you. It's really beautifully laid out. And every
mhm.
month there's another woman. And then the entirety of the calendar is dedicated to a woman veteran who has landed a major impact w- uh, with her career and her service. So It
Mm,
total is 13 women that are honored each with each calendar. 13 women are honored.
that's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Geneva, it is great connecting with you again, woman of God. Thank you so much for jumping on the live. We appreciate you so much for popping in. Um, yes, there's a LinkedIn user. The scripture quoted for tonight, Romans 8:28. Absolutely.
Mhm.
The whole book of Romans is it just makes me happy.
Amen.
I love
Amen.
that. I love that. So, and Romans 8:28 is something we're definitely going to talk about on tonight. But listen, y'all, I need to take one quick commercial break before we jump into tonight's conversation. Tonight's conversation, we're going to be doing a wrap up and having talk about our experience with Parade Deck at the Military Influencer
Mhm.
Conference. So those of you who are just jumping on the live, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons, and let's get this conversation out to as many people as possible. Those of you that are returning viewers, get something to write with and something to write on, because you don't want to miss any of the nuggets that Lachelle and I are going to share, not only about our experience and our journey with this conference, but the tools that we'll be sharing tonight that can help you grow both personally and professionally. Listen, guys, we will be right back after this short commercial break.
Are you ready to take your business, career, and mindset to the next level? Then it's time to join the conversation on Laquita's Toolbox. Whether you're an entrepreneur, leader, or someone just looking to level up, this show is packed with powerful insights and real strategies to help you succeed. Imagine yourself here, sharing your story, your expertise, and making a real impact with an audience ready to grow and thrive. With Laquita's Toolbox, you'll be inspired, empowered, and part of an incredible community that's all about winning. This is your moment. Don't miss the opportunity to be a guest on Laquita's Toolbox. Unlock new doors, connect with like-minded professionals, and elevate your brand to new heights. Ready to make your mark? Head over to www.laquitamonley.com, Laquita's Toolbox, and sign up to be a guest today.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of Laquita's Toolbox. I am your host, Laquita Monley, and I am joined tonight by the fabulous Mrs. Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom. I had to get that right, girl, before I get in trouble with Jerome. I'm already in trouble with him a little bit for being late tonight. I can't mess that up, now can I?
Oh man, you are
We
too
have Miss
much.
Melanie Richards. Welcome to the live, Miss Melanie. It is so wonderful to see you here today, sis. And we also have Mr. Michelle. Am I saying
Mac.
it right, sir?
We just call him Mac.
Just call him Mac. Okay, don't let me mess
Yeah.
up Mac's name. Thank you for the save. Thank you for the save. Welcome to the live, sir. We are excited to have you. So listen, y'all. September the 29th through October the 4th, in Atlanta, there was this amazing event called the Military Influencers Conference. And Lachelle and I were just, well, I don't know about you, Lachelle, but did you have an expectation? I
You
didn't even
know,
have an expectation going into the event. I was just excited to be in Atlanta and not at home.
right. Well,
That's
you
how
know,
you
I was excited because I saw a little bit of the flyer
preview
that you
the
sent me.
flyer.
Yeah, you and
Mhm.
John Stewart was like the headliner or something. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is really going to be a nice event, right? But
right.
I really, I outside of that, I had no other expectation, and I was really blown away from the app that they had us
Mhm.
use to uh, get acquainted with all the events and able to, be in forums. And
Mhm.
I mean, they just went all out. It just was very user friendly. Um, the location, I mean, so many places to create content. It
Mhm.
it was like it was amazing. It was
It
amazing.
was. It was
Mhm,
very well put together.
mhm.
When I looked at when I looked at the headliners, the keynote speakers, and then when we did get access, when I logged, no, so let me not say when we did get access, when I got around to logging into the app, because I
True.
cannot put that on them.
It's
When I
true.
right. So when I got around to logging into the app and seeing the different courses and sessions that were available, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be nice, nice. And so
Mhm.
getting there from the moment we came through the door, from the moment my son and I you put the left the car with the valet and we came in to check in, the different vendors that were there that were making the event the success that it was, meeting us at the door. And my experience was just top notch from beginning to end. And the reason that I wanted to do the wrap up and share is because sometimes um, I don't think we fully understand as entrepreneurs, and I could be wrong, y'all. I could be wrong. The
Mhm.
importance of networking
Mhm.
and being in the space with other like-minded individuals, not just virtually, but in person. And the other reason that this was so important to me, we can go to other podcasting conferences, streaming TV networks conferences, different things of that nature. But and we all have something in common with that because we're podcasters, we're live streamers, we are streaming TV, television producers, micro network owners. Like we have all of those things, but it's not often that we get to be in a room with people who do all of those wonderful things, but are
Mhm.
also a part of our military community.
Mhm.
And that was the difference maker because we had people in the rooms that you didn't have to think about what you were saying or how you were saying it. You didn't have to think about now how I'm going to put this down into civilian terms. We were in a room full of other like-minded individuals who were literally just like us. No pun intended, Clindrick Lamar. No pun intended.
It was true, and
Yeah.
I think, also I would say action takers.
Mhm.
There's something about the military community that it is just go, right? You
Right.
don't have that, um, over analyzing, you just take action, which, just hearing your story in the beginning about how you met Amanda,
Mhm.
and then, you met her in Atlanta, and then you're going to her event in Texas,
Mhm.
and part of the event, interviewing people and the pictures and the further communications and collaborations. It just says something about that audience that is powerful when it comes to being able to continue to build on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And from the different interviews that I was able to do, I just want to take a moment and shout out to the wonderful supporting team that I have with Laquita's Toolbox, especially with preparing for uh, going to the Military Influencers Conference. Shout out to Parade Deck for the invitation.
Amen.
Um, for that invitation to go this year, and they all, so to be fair, they invited me last year. I didn't get an opportunity to go last year, so I was determined that I would make it this year. And so and speaking with the team, like, what do I need, what do we need, and we can talk about that. Like, when you're attending an event like this, ideally, what do you need to get the most out of this opportunity? Not just to learn while you're in those sessions or to network while you're in those sessions, but as content creators, ideally, what are the things that we need to be doing? What are the things that we need to have on hand with us to make sure that we're able to catch the necessary moments, capture as many of the moments as we
Mhm.
possibly can? And so that was the conversation that I was having. And through those brainstorming and conversations, shout out to Mr. William McVeigh, my amazing creative director. He is phenomenal, y'all. He is
Yes, he
phenomenal.
is.
Yes, he is. I need
And
everybody.
congratulations on the new baby.
Yes, he's a new dad. Yes, he's a new dad.
Mhm.
Good evening, Sam. Thank you so much for being here. And so, one of the things that William mentioned, he is a new dad, so he wasn't able to come with us. But thank the Lord, when you have, I was having this conversation, a matter of fact, with Raquel May David, and she
Mhm.
was talking to me after the event because she was getting ready to record her event.
Mm-hmm.
When we have people in our sphere of influence, when we have people in our network, and specifically in our family and friends who have a specific skill set, let's not wait for them to ask us. Go and talk to them. And she said that, and it made me smile because I was able to have those moments captured. William couldn't be there, but I was able to have those moments captured because there is someone, an amazing photographer and videographer, right in Atlanta. Shout out to Ant Productions, because she's in my network, she's in my sphere influence, people that I know, love, and trust. I was able to say, "Hey, Ant, I have this event coming up. This is what the event is. Here are the dates. Let me know if you're flexible." And then, because I would love for you to come in and cover this, right, with me. She checked out the event, saw that it would be a great place for her and her brand, and said, "Yeah, for sure. We're going to do this." And not only did she come out, but she brought out a fellow photographer to make sure that all of the moments were covered. And so when you're going to these events, you can't afford. So let's say you cannot afford to bring a team. I was blessed enough to be able to have a team. And that's not the case all the time, because it ain't been my case, right? That hasn't always been my case. But what are the tools of your trade that you could bring with you that is easy for you to manage, easy for you to do on your own? And as an influencer, it's imperative to capture photographs as well as short form video when you're at any type of event. Oh, we got some good conversation. Dr. Kimberly Adams says, "I agree. Don't wait to reach out to collaborate." Come on, Dr. Kimberly. Say that again real loud for the people in the back. Type it in all bold caps and put it. I'm going to put it back on the screen. Just get back in the comments and put it in all bold caps, because this is true. We don't need to wait on people to reach out to us in order to collaborate. Reach out to them. What's the worst that could happen?
Right. They could just say no.
And then, okay, Lord, that's the door that you don't want me to walk through right now. Lord, what is the next door? We keep pushing forward. We keep moving forward.
Amen.
LinkedIn user says we have to get over the fear of rejection. Say that again.
This is true. That's
Say
true.
that again. Let me tell you something. I was called out at this event. I believe, was it not after the event? I was called out after the event. And the sister spoke to me. It was Stephanie. She says, "You're not so much afraid of rejection as you are afraid of success." So I'm put that in the I'm gonna put that in the comment section. Somebody put that in the comment section. Don't be afraid of success. Come on, Dr. Kimberly, come through. I love it. I love it. Don't wait for them to reach out. Yes, collaborate. I love it. The LinkedIn user says, "Be bold and audacious." Absolutely. Absolutely. Another LinkedIn user says, "I love that. The tools of your trade that you can bring along." Absolutely. We have to bring along those tools of the trade. So what are the tools of the trade for an influencer, Lachelle? What is it that when you stepped into this event, what were the things that came to your mind that says, "Man, I wish I would have had this, or I wish I would have had that to make sure that I got the maximum out of this experience"?
To be honest, I didn't have any of that. And the reason is because, I think it's the power of relationships. And the reason I say that is because I was invited by you to be at that event. I wasn't even, it wasn't on my radar. It was nothing. So if you could share with everybody how I got to be connected with that event, I think that's important for us to even bring that up about relationships.
Well, because you're wonderful. Because you're wonderful. So So, so with that invite from
Mhm,
Parade Deck to come in and to speak and do the podcast live from the Parade Deck stage, Parade Deck, so we could either interview a list of people that they had available for us to interview, or we could interview um someone else. And so because of our relationship, because of knowing you, I know
mhm,
that you live in Georgia. There's
mhm.
another military spouse that I know that lives in Georgia, but shout out to Miss Shelley Jeffcoat. She was already on the Parade Deck stage and in need of someone to interview. So it's like, okay, Lord, I'm going to interview Lachelle. Why did I pick Lachelle? She's a fellow military spouse. She has an amazing story, and we have great synergy. We have great synergy. So I knew that being in this unfamiliar environment, I wanted to have someone to talk to where the conversation would be smooth.
Mhm.
And you did just that. You showed up and showed out, as they say in the church world, as you do, as
Well,
you
I
do.
appreciate that.
And
Yeah,
not
so
only that, but I got you because you told me to mention it, right? Like how you
yeah.
got there. But here's the thing: when we're collaborating with one another, Lachelle just didn't bring herself; she brought people. She brought
Mhm,
people. So she told other military influencers who she knew in the area, hey, come to this event. I'm going to be speaking on this stage. And I got
mhm,
to meet the amazing, the phenomenal Miss Angela Odom. Oh my
mhm.
God, I can't wait for y'all to get her on the podcast because she gave me a yes, y'all. So stay tuned. You don't want
Amen.
to miss her. You don't want to miss her. Sis read my mail. I was like, yes, okay.
All
Oh,
right.
no. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She wasn't wrong, y'all. And she probably gonna talk about it on the podcast, so I ain't gonna tell you today. I'm gonna wait till she come on the podcast.
I love it. I love it. But,
Yeah.
so I think, again, it's important to have those relationships, and the photographer that you asked to, be a part of the, event, I knew from the media tour because I had
Yes.
come to Texas, to collaborate with you on your event in, Killeen.
And
So,
she didn't come along that time either, but we're gonna
yeah,
get to that.
she had some help there. So I'd say that it's very important to have a support system, and by that is community.
Yes.
Not be strangers with people, reach out to them. I remember when we did the media tour, I got her information, any pictures or anything that I had, I sent them to her. Whatever I could do, shared her posts. I think it's these things that we kind of get in our head about and think everything has to cost money, but sweat equity is
Mhm.
priceless sometimes, right?
Mhm.
Sharing posts, commenting on posts, giving people reviews, recommendations. I mean, it's just another thing to kind of build that credibility, but stay connected to people. If you give
Right.
someone a recommendation, your picture is on their profile or vice versa,
Mhm.
So I think it's about building those relationships so that anything that you may forget, somebody has you, right?
That's it.
So
Yes.
I had a tripod, I had my phone, I had my charger, I had everything that I could do physically by myself.
Yes.
But again, it takes a village and a team with this. And AMP just did phenomenal. I mean,
Yes,
I
she
was
did.
so excited for them because it was an experience with them learning, networking, and going to different people
Mhm.
around the different areas and seeing the free things that they got and the connections and talking to them about
Oh,
leveraging
yes.
that because
Because
they're young, you know?
they are young. They're not,
Mhm.
they're old enough to be our babies, but they're not
Right.
baby baby. So listen, again, shout out to Amp Productions. You can find them
Mhm.
on Instagram, Amp underscore productions, or
Mhm.
Amp production biz. Let me not get her stuff wrong, y'all. If you're in the Atlanta area or in the Georgia area, get on her
Or in the
Instagram.
United States.
Yes, because she does travel. Let me say that.
You gotta think
Her
big, girl.
right,
She
her
done
and her
came to
team
Texas.
right, they did. They came to Texas, so let me not limit them. I apologize. I
Exactly.
apologize, Miss Alasia Martin. That is her name. Her social media handle on Instagram is Amp Productions, and you can also find her on LinkedIn under Alasia Martin or Amp Productions. You can put that information in, and she does events, short form video. When I say short form video, I mean video production for independent music artists. She does cover events. But I like what you brought out about the free stuff that they got, because showing up in the room and the type of equipment and gear that they had was so attractive to the other professionals in the space. Because when you bring your tools of the trade to what in essence was a trade show for the military community, for influencers in the military community. Canon, I believe, is the camera that the equipment that they were using, was one of the major sponsors of the event. And so when they walked by, the team walked by getting B-roll, and they had all of their Canon equipment that was very attractive to Canon. And so I'm not gonna tell y'all what freebies Canon gave them, but they hooked them up.
They did phenomenal.
did.
So we got a good question.
Yeah.
Because I love this question, because
Okay.
I am non-traditional. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your strategy to ensure you are able to follow up those connections you meet at events? Do you collect business cards or use any other tools? My phone. I do not get a card. I get people's phone number. People can say, oh, follow me on LinkedIn and all that. I don't do that, because 9 times out of 10, not anybody that I meet is as active as I am on social media. I'm 53, y'all. So most people my age are not on social media like that. Okay. I'm only on there because I have a 10-year-old. That's my youngest. But the point I'm saying is I get people's phone number so I can text them. I also take a selfie so I can say, oh, let me, that's another way I can send them the picture to get their phone number so I can text them. So I'm a phone
transparency, I
person.
take the picture so I can remember who they are when I see
Now,
that
that's a good
number in
thing
my
too.
phone. Like, who is this?
That's a good thing too. That's a
Yes.
good thing too. But yeah, so I'm a phone person. So I don't collect cards. I used to carry diaper bags forever. So I really don't even like carrying stuff with me outside of my phone. I have a backpack, and that has my tripod. I got my books. Okay. Raquel knows, I'm up there with my
Right, like,
backpack.
I
With
feel
my
you
cell
though.
phone.
I feel you. I carry diaper bags, baby backpacks,
I'm not
for
doing that.
too long.
Yeah.
I don't even like carry my purse if I don't have to. But
And I wear comfortable
Yeah.
shoes. I don't wear heels and all that other stuff either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My feet were comfortable through the entirety of the military influencers conference. Even when you and I were on stage, I had to try them shoes on a couple of times, run and walk in them. Because where we going? My
It's
feet
true.
cannot be that uncomfortable for that long. So, and I agree with you. I will collect business cards, but it's hard for me to go back to them. If someone gives me to me, I'm going to collect it, put it in the bag. But I want, if possible, I get the phone number, take the picture, and then send them an immediate text. So I have a text thread already. So when I want to do a follow-up text, which is usually like the selfie that you took, or me just saying thank you so much, it was really good meeting you at whatever the event is, I look
Right.
forward to staying in touch with you. And my calendar, my coffee chat calendar link, I will send them my coffee chat calendar link so we can actually have more time set to have a more in-depth conversation later. That's
my girl.
it truly is important. Look, Raquel says, talk about it. I was in flats when I for sure. For sure.
I don't know. Ask your mom. Yeah, my grandson is talking, but I really do. do the phone thing because
Mhm.
I was just listening to you. See, you get the card, you try to put their number in, you do the selfie. That's just too many steps. I'm just saying, people come and interrupt you. You know what I mean? We act like we have all the time, and that doesn't happen. You
But
might
the
be just listen to a presentation and you get somebody's attention really quick. It's
mhm.
not like you have time to do a long drawn out. They
You
might
know,
get they might be getting ready to go back on stage with somebody else. So
mhm.
you got to do it quick. All
You
these
gotta do it
steps.
fast. Like,
Yeah, that's
that
just
quick exchange with the
hmm
new phones, though, I love that bump with the contacts, though.
oh
Oh,
yeah.
I was feeling that the whole conference. I learned
See,
something new.
I'm old
See?
school, girl. I haven't even
I
got
just
that
bumped
yet.
my iPhone and boom, there it was with theirs. I was like, "Oh, that's delightful." It's like
It's true, girl. I'm not up there yet. Look, Imma be like you when I grow up. I remember, it's so funny. My husband used to work for Verizon, right? And so when he
yeah.
first started working for him, he was like, all the kids are gonna get a phone. I'm thinking, no, they're not. I don't
Mhm.
even think we want to have that much time with them being on the phone and just so much access. So when he worked there, this was when they used to give you free phones.
Mm.
So a new phone would come out, you can get a free one and all this. And
Yes.
so I was in that habit that I would never upgrade until the phone was free.
'Cause I
He used to
still
be a
live my life
manager,
like that.
right? But they had stopped that a long time ago. I'm like,
Look.
what? So, so the only time I had to get a phone, this is crazy. So it was 2015. My daughter went with me. We were on the Rachel Ray show. So Rachel Ray paid for me to go to the show. So I just had two spots. So it was my daughter's birthday. So I took her with me. And we were in the Atlanta airport and we were flying Delta, but something was going on with the kiosk because back then you had to do your ticket in the kiosk.
In the kiosk, yeah.
So she do it on her phone, but you had to download the app. I had like an iPhone 6 or something, and so I couldn't even download the app. So she had to download the app. She was able to get our boarding passes on the Apple Wallet, and we were able to make the flight. Now, if it wasn't for her going with me, I would have missed the plane and everything. So that's just how far behind I can be sometimes with my phone.
With your phone. We're gonna get you up to
But
speed.
again, see, relationships, being with the right people.
Relationships, right? Relationships. We're gonna get you a little bit more up to speed on your phone, Michelle. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that because you have a much newer phone now. I saw it.
I do, but I don't have the bump yet. Okay, so yeah.
What it's the benefits of technology when it comes to networking and making sure. So one of the things with the app that they're using for the event, everybody had a
Mhm,
contact card. And so
mhm,
what we were able to do was to scan the QR codes real quick. And it
mhm.
had everybody's phone number, photo, email address, and LinkedIn. I love the fact that it connected us directly to LinkedIn because LinkedIn
Yes.
is my preferred social media platform. So
Mhm,
now I'm able to connect with you here. I have your contact information. I could go
mhm,
out and connect with you again on LinkedIn. And so we have, to me, that's different. I've got the phone number, I've got your email, and
mhm.
now I've got your LinkedIn. And more than likely, I'm going to reach out to you on LinkedIn. Um, and a text or a phone call is actually going to be my secondary option because I want to start the conversation and connect with you on my social platform first. That's just me personally, just to get the conversation started. Because some
Mhm.
people aren't as social as I am. I don't care about talking to you on the phone. I prefer to talk to people on the phone, but I've learned now in this age that some people, that's not how they want to initially start
Yeah.
communication. So I'll just use LinkedIn, and I found that that has been effective with getting them on a coffee chat, a Zoom,
Mhm.
and then they're more comfortable with exchanging text messages or exchanging phone calls
That's
with
true.
us.
And that's how we got connected on a coffee
It
chat.
it was on a coffee chat on LinkedIn. On a coffee chat on LinkedIn lit. So we have got so many wonderful people showing up. Y'all listen. Thank you for coming into the room tonight. We have got people showing up from LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. You guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for those that are joining us on the Daily Faith Network as well as on the Parade Deck TV. We thank you and appreciate you for being on the broadcast with us tonight. I know normally I'm on Thursday nights, and I will be on this Thursday night as well with another great guest. But again, tonight, Lachelle and I just wanted to kind of recap our experience at the Military Influencers Conference, some of the things we talked about, but really importantly, some of our great takeaways from that event. And so far, if you're just joining the broadcast, we've been talking about the importance of connection and collaboration and being prepared when you're going to what was the equivalent of a trade show. So if you're going to
exactly,
if you're going to a conference and it's directly related to your area of expertise, I don't care what it is, whether you have a 9 to 5 or a business owner, that's a trade show. That's where you're going to for your professional development. We have to be, as especially those of us that are podcasters, live streamers, streaming TV show hosts and producers. If you're anywhere on social media influencing people or in person influencing people as a speaker, you have to have that social proof that you're there. Miss Raquel May David had to hammer that in my head because I was real stubborn and adamant that I ain't about to take no pictures. What are we doing? I'm going here to speak and deliver a word. My phone is sitting in the chair.
Right. That is so true about the picture.
In the chair. I am focused on delivering the message that I came to deliver. She had to hammer in that importance to me, and I accepted it begrudgingly. I know she's gonna get in the comments and say something smart, but here I am on all of the World Wide Webs saying you was right, Raquel, because she was.
It's true.
We have to have that proof. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, so Mac is in the UK. He says it's 2 a.m. there, but a couple of things that I would say about really showing up strong at events. And like you said, it was like a trade show. So I wasn't ready for the impact that I was going to meet with that event. And so some tips that I would say to people is taking the pictures are important, but making sure that the pictures create a story.
Yes.
So when you do that, you put your content out there in a way that the people who host the event, or if they were featured at the event, that they want to share the content.
Yes.
So you want to get sound bites of them, or take pictures of their products, all the things, do a video of the room, right? And then tag them, because it will go a lot further. So one of the things that happened just this earlier, was it this week or last week, with Parade Deck? We had a post that you had made, and then I shared it on my story, and they just kept resharing it, over and over again on their story.
On their story. Parade Deck is very good about the posting and resharing, and throughout the course of the conference, and even now in the wrap up and the follow up with a military influencer, I've seen a lot of our content that they have reshared in their stories or on their timeline, or that they have come in and made comments on the post. So it's really important. Like I couldn't agree with you more, that what you capture tells a story in such a way that the event that you're at wants to jump in on that. Wants to jump in and acknowledge, hey, this is great, this was good, whatever they do. It could be just 2 thumbs up that they give you, but you want to make sure that that story that you're curating is one that tells an amazing story of your experience, because your experience probably mirrors the experience of other people, and they want that positivity to keep going, because they want people to come back for that event year after year. Because I don't know about you, Lachelle, but I'm already ready for MIC 2025.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I think also being mindful of diversity, getting pictures or slides with people from different backgrounds, different
Mhm.
cultures.
Absolutely.
Food is always good to take pictures of. Um, the staff of the place that you're at. In this case, we were at a hotel.
Mhm.
So, backdrops of the hotel, the people that worked at the hotel, because all these are good people that you can tag into your content.
Mhm.
Um, just a lot. I mean, I kind of do this stuff and don't really think about it. But now that we're having the conversation,
Yeah, she's
uh,
like on auto mode, for real, auto mode with this stuff. Every time I turn around, she dropping a nugget that's like, "Oh my god, I wish I would have thought of that."
mhm.
Even even in the event. So, it sounds like, Laquita showed up all flawless and everything and fabulous. I did not. Don't believe that. I showed up in all my humanity.
Amen.
So
We
I
both did.
planned, we planned and planned and planned. The team and I planned. William did some wonderful work behind the scenes with production and getting our virtual stages ready for for the podcast to go live from the event. Devontae came down to do the in-person camera work and setup, and just was phenomenal in everything that we did there. And then Amp and her fellow photographer Just he was there. The team was there doing everything wonderful, and so I was told, like, hey, Laquita, there's going to be tables set up before, during, and after your session. Make sure you bring any products that you have so that you can sell from the stage, number one. And then number two, once you're done, people can come to the table. And well, I forgot, y'all. Listen, had my stuff ready. And so Lachelle was coming, and it was that same day, later in the day after after we were finished with our session that day, we were in my room and Lachelle says, "Why are you not selling the books?" I forgot I even had the books. I forgot I had the books. So don't forget, like, set yourself some reminders, because when you're
Mhm.
in those moments and the adrenaline and the excitement is pumping, you can forget. You really can forget. And I forgot. So we were going
Mm.
back out to go to a session. I grabbed some of the books because, okay, I am going to sell these books. I did not want to leave with the books that I had. I'm going to sell some of these books. Went to the session, having great conversation. After the session, I forgot I had the books, y'all. I had the books in my hand and was
True.
talking to the fabulous Miss Melissa. And you guys are going to see her and her husband's episode. It's phenomenal.
Mhm.
Another amazing female veteran, and just having a conversation with her, she's like, "Oh, I know you got a book. Is that the book in your hand?" I was like, "Oh, as a matter of fact, it is."
It's true.
It is.
Yeah.
It is true. So mistakes are going to happen. You're not. I don't think
Mhm.
that there's. I I don't think that there is a way to be absolutely flawless and where you don't miss a beat. But we could try really hard to have all of the things in place that we need to have in order to be successful. And this is whether you're invited to an event as a speaker, or if you're invited to the event, or if you're coming to the event as an attendee. Because coming to the event as an attendee and the content that you're able to grab there is just as important as if you were a speaker. Because I got some good um, I got some good content from Angela, and as she was
Mhm.
posting about her experience in some of the,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that she was taking the videos that she was taking or the photos that she was taking, and
Mhm.
her sharing about her experience at the event. It included some great content with me and Lachelle in it. And so I
Mhm.
had to mosey on over to her social media and said, "Can I borrow that? And let me go
Yeah.
ahead and here and repost." It's pinned to the top of my page. One of her videos is pinned to the top
Right.
of the page right now. So
But see, why was that the thing? Because you were in that content.
yeah,
See, this is the
yeah.
thing about people doing the right kind of content because you will want to share it. Another thing about the book is, and this, we're all a work in transition with that because I know it took me forever to be an author first. because I had to reframe my mind about what it meant to be an author. I'm thinking Shakespeare, right? So I'm like, I'm
Right.
definitely not Shakespeare. But once you do that, it's the transition to, you know what? I want to honor people's time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, I just spoke on stage. They probably don't want me, being like a water hose to them with this information. So I do have my book, or we can schedule a call. You see what I'm saying? It's an easy transition. This is why it's important to have systems and checklists. So it's just like, when you have these processes in place, it gets to be like second nature, because it's just, I'm not going to try to sell people from the stage. I'm going to simply transition to, I can't speak to everybody. We had people coming up to us, and it's like, somebody else has got to get back on the stage. And they're
Right.
like, 15 kids, are they all yours? That kind of stuff. Right. So
Right.
it's like, you don't have time for that. You got to transition. And it's like,
Right.
okay, I have my book, but again, that's part of setting up that process to where it feels natural.
This is so very true, and I thank you for bringing that up too,
Mhm.
because when we say sell from the stage, it doesn't necessarily mean you got you saying, and right there in the corner you can find me and my books are on sale for 9.99. Da da da. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah.
that's not necessarily um how you can successfully set up selling
Mhm.
your products, whether they're digital or physical products, from a stage. It's really more in the delivery of the content that you have, and setting people up to where they want more from you. They
Exactly.
want to hear you speak again. They want your book. They want your downloadable. They want more connection with you. And then because that you have that ability to have a booth set up with your content, they will follow you, and even to the point where you don't want to keep spitting up on them. Not no, spit up is the wrong word. You don't want to keep feeding them with a fire hose. Um,
Right.
being able to get them in your funnel for
Mhm.
more follow up, um, to be able to deliver more content to them is amazing as well. And that goes back to the networking. Okay, I've got 5 people standing in front of me. Let's quickly get all 5 people's numbers, and we
Mhm.
can continue these conversations, or set up a time and a date where we can meet, like we did in that event. I set up times and dates to meet with people in between sessions. Let's,
Mhm.
hey, can we meet in one of the restaurants and grab a quick coffee, a quick tea? If it was a meal time, we can maybe have a lunch or a dinner together. We had an amazing lunch um,
Mhm.
with,
It was your birthday.
it was my birthday, girl. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. So,
Yeah. It was your
yes.
birthday.
Yeah. So we had an amazing lunch that day with, come here,
Tanya.
sorry, Major Oxendine,
Mhm.
and with Colonel Odom,
Mhm.
for because we wanted to respect their time. We still wanted to talk, but you want to respect their time. People were hungry. So you set that up. And then so there were other situations where we were able to set that up through the event as well. So
Mhm.
just, being mindful of that. Being mindful
Yeah.
of that.
Another thing that I would say too about selling from the stage is being mindful of working out bulk sales. See,
Mm,
that's another thing that
mm,
we're thinking, oh, somebody's going to get a book, but having those conversations where you just spoke. So, setting yourself up to speak somewhere else,
mhm,
or, talking to them in terms of team building,
mhm.
so
Yes.
who's on your team? You need 7 or 8 copies for your team,
Mhm,
talking forward for people, because a lot of times people just think, you know, a community is the way to do it. We're doing a study now on Clubhouse for the book Outwitting the Devil. Now I can read the
mm,
book by myself,
mhm.
but having a community holds me accountable. I'm
Yes.
going to read it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to, do all these different things because the community. So be mindful of thinking about that, because I know, well, I love books. Okay. So I can't say no, but there's a lot of people that they're in the moment. They want to get the book. They're excited, but the book is on the shelf and they
Mm-hmm.
don't read it.
And they don't
So
read.
selling them in bulk helps to make sure that your message is not just talked about, but that it's implemented.
Implement it. See, that's some good stuff. I told y'all, every time this woman opened her mouth, she got gems. She got gems. She got gems. Gems for days. You know, Lachelle, every time I talk to you, I go over my time.
Yeah,
You know what? That's not true.
because we started late. We
That
do have a
too,
few
but I
minutes.
still think we probably just a little bit. We did get started late. We did get started late, so technically we're not that far over the time. But when we were on the stage at MIC, we stayed on time. So
We did. We
we
had
did.
no choice there
We
because
did.
they would turn the volume down.
You gotta go. You
Exit
gotta go.
stage left, right?
Right, right. You know, well, before we go though, we do have to talk a little bit about Romans 8:28 because I know
Yes.
some people are like, y'all talked about it, and I don't even know how that line up with scripture, what y'all just said, because that's false advertising. We're not
I mean,
but
did they see the beginning? That says it.
right.
You know, don't let how you begin be the mindset of how you end, right?
How you yeah, that
Mhm.
part, because it's all
Mhm.
working together.
Mhm. She said, "Turn the volume
Yeah,
down."
girl, they would have just turned us off because it was live. Like they would have went to the commercial while we were still
Right.
talking.
Exactly. Exactly.
But the conversation that day was really amazing because it was really and the feedback that we got from it,
Yeah.
was phenomenal. So most of the people, there were a lot of military spouses in the building. There were
Mhm.
several organizations there that support military spouse initiatives, but we definitely were the minority, meaning military spouses as a group being the minority in the building. The
Mhm.
majority of the people who were there were veterans or active duty.
Mhm.
So with our conversation was on self innovation based off of Romans 8:28, and there are similarities to Lachelle, my story and Lachelle's stories, but there are vast differences. But
Mhm.
the one similarity was everything that took place, positive or negative, within our husband's military service. We had to learn to take that and turn that mess into a message. We had to learn that, all things truly do work together for my good.
Mhm.
It's the Lord allowed it. So he's going to give us the resiliency. He's already given us the capability and the capacity to handle it and thrive through it. And so when we finished the conversation, the first thing that we heard other than well done was from service members, active duty and retirees, women and men, that said, this is the first time I ever heard it put that way. You
Mhm.
know, I've never thought about it like that from a spouse perspective. And I would even say there were more female veterans that said that than male veterans. And I can get that too
Mhm.
because they're women, they're wives, they're mothers, they're everything that we are, with the caveat that they are the active duty service member. And so, with that active duty service member, it really changed the mindset of how they approached everything. And Melissa was sharing with me that was the first time that she really had to sit back and think and I'm saying this because these women were in key leadership positions. And so
Mhm.
oftentimes military spouses, now let me be clear, some of us real whiny and we do need to go somewhere, sit down and color. Let's just be honest about it. Let's be honest about it. Some of us just need to sit down somewhere. But the vast majority of us, by and large, we're doing the best we can with what we have, and we know that there's no
Mhm.
need to complain. Don't mean we have to be happy about it. And so when hearing
Right.
how we were able to power through some things, they were that comment really was like, okay, Lord, that's good. That's good because if they're
Mhm.
hearing us, then that means we're being successful with what we're doing. That
Amen.
yeah, that means we're
Amen.
being that's what we're doing. Like your experience may be different than my experience, but my experience is validated. So, as the service member, you're the one that's going to get shot at. As the spouse, we're
Mhm.
the ones that are peeking out the window to see how many uniforms coming to the front door, or if there are uniforms
Mhm.
coming to the front door.
Right.
And sometimes when we're in the middle of those situations, we don't give as spouses to each other. We don't really think it all the way through on
Mhm.
how each of our experiences actually intertwined, and we're
Mhm.
just stressed. So that for me was the win. What about you, from Lachelle, from that conversation with the feedback that you got afterwards?
Well, again, I think conversation is so powerful because, when you're in those situations, even though a lot of people are, your neighbors or you're on posts with other families, you still can feel isolated. You
Mhm,
can feel like nobody understands. And depending on, your husband's rank or where you're located or even your own personal life about, is it easy for you to be social and make friends?
mhm,
There's so many things that I would say you just have to jump, whether you think you can swim or not with a
mhm,
lot of stuff, because your kids are switching schools. And
mhm,
I mean, it's just a lot of things that you go through as a spouse and feeling like, um, everything is about the, soldier,
mhm,
even to the point that, that's how you're recognized.
yeah,
Anytime you wanna call and talk about anything military related, you have to know your husband's Social Security number.
mhm,
Everything is based on that. And so, you have to have that strong sense of understanding that you do have a role and a purpose outside of the military. I think one of the good benefits that I had with our situation is the fact that we had 15 children, because I had gotten used to doing things that are not popular,
mhm,
being able to have confidence and stand out, thick skin, just a number of things with that kind of helped me to be able to kind of carve my own path. And I got a lot of attention.
mhm,
I could just, when people saw me in a store or commissary or wherever, and they just saw me with all those kids, it was something like I had everybody's attention, so I had learned how to navigate through that to some extent, but it still is a hard thing because depending on rank and it's just a number of things that go into the military. It's just like a whole new different world, seriously.
It is a completely different
Yeah.
world. It is. It's a completely different world, and
Mhm.
get the saying that that there are more things that unify us than that separate us is so true.
Mhm. Mhm.
Unfortunately, we don't always get to that mindset before
Mhm.
things go south real fast.
Yeah.
Before they go south, like there are healthy, successful marriages within the military community. There are also some that are not, some that don't
Mhm.
make it, some that are toxic. I mean, it's like this, like within the regular civilian world. But one of the other things that in some of the conversations we had that day, the other thing that was brought up was, wow, how did you do that? Like, how did you stay married and have 15 kids and he retired now? Girl, how you do that? Jesus did it. Like
It's true.
true. Like, how are you still together? Because like when each one of us would say how long we have been married, how many
Yeah.
children we have, or grandchildren, eyes get like really huge. Yeah, yeah, I've been with him that long,
It's
and
true.
we still like each other. Like
Yeah.
there, there is a system. There's a system in place. There's a strategy, and that strategy is called um, being a Christian, being one that loves the Lord and depend on Him in
Mhm.
prayer and holding fast to His scripture. We were asked, Oh no, I was asked after that conversation by another by a young lady that was there, single sister, and she was very, very like in awe because you and I were able to talk about all of the things that we talked about
Mhm.
and be so open in our Christianity and not be
Mhm.
afraid to have it impact our platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like, wow. Not that it was awkward to hear her say that, but it was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think because it even though it is, I know for me it's a foundation. I
Mhm.
mean, there's just no way that I could
Can't tell
overcome
my story
13
without
years.
doing, yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? I
Right.
couldn't
Like I
overcome nothing. I couldn't be married for 31 years. I
mhm.
couldn't overcome 13 years of depression. I couldn't, handle 15 children and,
Mhm.
just the delivery alone. I mean, that's the whole thing. But
Come
I'm
on now.
just saying that um the comfort to be able to talk about it, I think is important. And even the fact that, we were sharing with the makeup artists,
Mm.
the fact that the dynamics within the system of the military with um, officers versus non-officers, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
just that whole dynamic that, you know, we've just been able to overcome regardless of that. And
Right.
that's another thing to even consider because, it's just a lot of pressure all the way around with certain um what do I want to say? Unsaid rules, or
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain it.
You know, it's those unwritten rules. It's customs,
Mhm.
culture, practices, those unwritten rules. And so the makeup artist was in the room, in my room, I was getting my makeup done.
Mhm.
And we were just having casual conversation, as Lachelle said. And can't remember what pushed us the conversation in that direction. But what we were saying, if on active duty, she and I wouldn't have been able to get that close.
Mhm.
Though my husband would have worked for her husband, we wouldn't have been like, it's very frowned upon and shunned upon that just wasn't gonna happen. We
Mhm.
just open up ourselves to all kind of not good possibilities by
True.
having us working well together. Yes, us
Mhm.
being friends, like friends for real, not just we're gonna smile and wave because we gotta get this done because your husband is a commander and my husband is the first sergeant. Like we gonna get that done. No, like we're friends in real life, real time. Yeah,
Mhm.
that would have been something that was extremely frowned upon, and we would have had
Mhm.
to been like, Nicodemus tiptoeing at the night time to be
Right.
each other's friends in real life and hope nothing ever happened to make that even more awkward situation publicly for our
Yeah.
husband. So it's just so many different things, and having that opportunity to talk about that with the makeup artist and even speak to that a little bit um, from the stage. Again, the weight that you carry as a military spouse,
Mhm.
sometimes it's not fully recognized by the service member. And so it just really did my heart good to
Mhm.
hear the service members say, oh man, I need to think that through.
Well, and I think
Right.
too, they probably could hear it from us,
Yeah.
because we weren't their spouse. Okay,
Right.
I was saying that to Amp, right? I
Hmm.
was saying to them certain things that they may say to my kids. My kids will be all over it, but if I'm trying to tell them the same thing, they're not hearing me. You know,
I'm not hearing it at
uh,
all, not even a little bit.
because they can relate to them, right? And
Right.
so I think, our husbands can sometimes get a deaf ear to us because
Hmm.
we have beaten them over the head with so much stuff that some of these issues, right? It's not that they don't want to hear us, but it just is hard
Yeah.
because you're in a situation a lot of times where another thing is these things are outside of the the soldier's control.
Control, right.
Right?
Good
You
point.
know,
Good point.
moving, where your next duty station I mean, it's just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mhm.
You know, bringing back to that conversation on, um, we don't have to like it. You don't
Yeah.
like it at all.
Right.
It's just the longer that our husbands were in, we come to a place to understand what's in their control, what's out of their control. And so now it's a waste of time for me just to be, belligerent about it. It's truly a waste of time and energy. Just get on with it and get it done and, believe God through it. Because, and this is not me saying, ladies, please don't take me wrong. Like, this is
Right.
not me saying suppress your feelings on the matter. No, validate your feelings on the matter. Just know your feelings are not going to change the situation, and there's no reason to project that anger or bitterness towards your husband because he can't change it either.
This is true.
He can't
It's
change it
true.
either. So you have
It's
to
true.
find a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And for the Monley house, my way to learn to deal with that and not let it destroy me, poison me slowly, right? Because
Mhm.
those feelings of resentment and anger and bitterness and all that can well up, and it's just a poison.
It's
How
true.
not to let that poison me was I thank the Lord for having a relationship with him, prayer, study of God's word,
Yeah.
the amazing men and women of God that he connected us with through the ministry that we were a part of at that time during all of the deployments. And each ministry that we partnered with over the years of his military service played a very, very active role in helping the Monley family, A, stay the Monley family, B, grow in our relationship with the Lord, and see just mature as individuals. Like it's necessary. It,
Mhm.
it's necessary. And I can't tell that story without being very open about my love for the Lord.
Amen.
I can't I can't separate my story from that. And so anyone who would invite me on that platform, they already know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they already know that. Hey, Miss Lisa, wonderful woman of God.
Mhm.
Lisa says, then you get used to the moves that after 2 years, it's a PCS itch. Yes. Ready to leave, especially if the area wasn't a good area. Come on now, talk about it, Lisa. Let's tell the truth on that. We didn't get to bring that up at the MIC, but that's really good. That's an adjustment part on the veteran spouse side. So we got to have Lisa, listen. I know you listening because you're still typing. So we're going to have a conversation with veteran spouses, and I want you to come on and talk about it because that's real. The things that we don't think about when your husband is getting ready for retirement, you're thinking, thank God I'm free. And you can't really fathom, you can't really process the changes that you are about to experience as the spouse.
Yeah.
You just focus on what they're talking about, like, oh Lord, this man is programmed to the army. What is he gonna be like? Can he make it as a civilian?
Exactly.
We're thinking about
or even the fact that you get used to them being away, weekends or drills and trainings and
and then he's sitting there looking at you while you look at him.
It's like, yeah. You gotta cook, right? We was having cereal, girl. It's like, look, you done messed up my menu.
Say he better preach. Come on, let's talk about it. That's so true, though. It is so true.
Oh man, it's true.
You have to get used to eat because it was like because it was Jesus. I know it was. Just when stuff was about to hit all the fans in the building, I gotta go in the field for 2 weeks. Really? I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah.
And on the inside, you saying, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Like,
Right.
give me a
It's
break.
a vacation.
Like, I need a vacation. Then at the end of them 2 weeks, probably like after the first 4 or 5 days, you're like, oh, I miss him.
Right.
You better text me. Like, you gotta call me.
It's true.
And you get that call and be like, hey, babe, what's up? Nothing. I've been thinking about you. I was like, because you've been gone long enough for me to miss you now. I don't even remember why I was mad at you no more.
It's it's true. It's true. Okay.
And you do. You get that PCS itch. Like I have not lived nowhere but Texas since well, technically I lived in Germany in the first parts of 2017. But from mid 2017 to now, I have not lived anywhere but Texas. That's for my whole adult life. That was never my story up until 2017.
That's something.
I was permanently in one place, and to be absolutely transparent, that bothered me more than I realized. To the point where, Lachelle, from 2017 to 2019, I tried to be everywhere but Texas. You know, different friends of mine in ministry was like, hey, we having this event, why don't you come speak? Hey, you got this going on, why don't you guys come and speak? I was like, oh, I'm on the plane. And I wasn't just not in Texas, I wasn't in America. On purpose, because I could have said no, but this was me going through that adjustment period. Oh, Lisa, listen. She's been in Colorado since 20. That's right. Your husband did retire before my husband. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Listen, girl.
And that's cold weather.
I know. Like, why? But she was but she used to the cold. She used to the cold.
Okay.
They lived in cold places before. I can't remember. Was it South Dakota or North Dakota? At least it was one of them. Too cold for me. That's what it was.
Yeah.
For me to be there. But you have to, that was a thing that I had to realize that, oh, that's an adjustment for me.
True.
I am accustomed now to, as much as I didn't like PCSing, now I'm accustomed to making PCS moves. And I want a PCS move. And I even hear that in my children's conversation. Like, they're young adults and they're no longer our dependents. But you know, my husband's a contractor. It's like, Dad, are we moving? Like, are we going to?
It's strange.
Right.
I'm sure.
Are we moving? Because I don't want to be in Texas anymore. Can you take a job back in England or Germany or Spain or just wherever? Like, can you take a job so we can come over there? Y'all do know the army ain't paying for this no more. But I understand you're feeling on the matter. Like, you're feeling on the matter. And it's real. That adjustment to become from going to an active duty spouse to a veteran spouse is a big adjustment. And even for our kids. So it's been a big adjustment for them. Yeah, so she was in South Dakota. It's cold there too. And now she visits her military son often. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'd be all at his duty station, not even at his house, just I need somewhere to sleep for the night because I'm going to visit friends wherever you at, son. You get accustomed to it. My kids had an adjustment. My husband has an adjustment. We had an adjustment. I had an adjustment. So now as a veteran spouse, my conversation is completely different when I talk to active duty spouses. But a bit more compassionate, a bit more understanding, try to give more wisdom. But even now finding myself having conversations with other veteran spouses who have been their husband's been retired longer than my husband, because how are you doing this? Like, how does this work? How are you? What are you doing to keep going? To keep your drive, to dull that itch to want to pack your bag and move, sell the house, and go buy another one somewhere else.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. She's yes. Listen, because if Denise always on the move. She says her daughter can't stay home. She on the plane, Mexico, North Carolina, Texas, all the time somewhere else. And that's the residue of being a military kid. It's real. The entire family has to make an adjustment. And sometimes we get accustomed to it. Sometimes we don't, but you know. So, Miss Lachelle, we have busted our time for like 30 minutes.
It just really was a good conversation because I just think, again, um, I'm just in awe about the power of collaboration. Just as you started out talking about the lady with the calendars, and a lot of people are afraid to collaborate. They're
Mm-hmm.
afraid to network. They're afraid to reach out to people and just really just have conversations. I
Mm-hmm.
think being open to understand that if you're at an event um, together, that you have something in common. And a lot of times, people go through too much of feeling like they have to say the right thing, do the right thing, be the right person, instead of just showing up as themselves, right? And just being intentional. So, thinking about, what is your message? What's your passion? What is that you want to do, and connecting with people and accepting them for where they are, and then just keeping the ball moving forward, so
This is
just
true.
so
Yeah.
some wonderful things. I think, even just understanding, we've had several talks since the event about understanding where you're at, what audience, and
Mm,
so understanding, hey, this is a military audience. Even in that case, what are some things that you notice that could be problems? That's just like when we met Melissa.
mm-hmm.
Melissa wrote her book based on some problems that she observed.
Yes. Yeah.
And now that book has just been something that has opened doors for her to speak, for her to talk to other people. So, when you have the ability to focus, being able to niche down, it allows you to focus so you can go deeper in an
Mm,
area, or
mhm.
deeper with your relationships and your connections.
Absolutely. I want to make sure I shout out Melissa properly. Melissa Farmer Hill. Check her out
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. It's a Shiro Coffee Club.
Yes.
Just like with the Woman Veterans Calendar, uh, is looking for women veterans to be models for each one of the months of the year.
Mhm.
Shira Coffee Club is also doing a similar campaign for coasters. They are looking for
Mm.
female veterans. Um, so you want to make sure you look up the Shira Coffee Club on Facebook and connect with the founder and creator of Shira Coffee Club, Miss Melissa Farmer Hill, and all that she does, and the proceeds from her products and services. Again, they go out to support women veterans initiatives. So if you yourself or is a if you yourself are a woman veteran, I can't get my words together, or love and want to support a woman veteran, give them that information on Miss Melissa Farmer Hill and the Shira Coffee Club, or Miss Amanda
Mhm.
McCullough and the Woman Veterans Calendar. Get them that information. They're Googleable. So if you're like, Liquid, I forgot all that what you said, just Google the organizations and it'll take you straight to their websites, so you can find out more about them. Because again, as I stated, women veterans, as I've learned since the MIC in Atlanta, women are the fastest growing group in the military,
Mhm.
but they're also the most invisible group. We know they're there, and I can't imagine what what they experience when you're going in somewhere. Because for me, it doesn't bother me because I didn't serve. When I
Right.
go into a place and they want to know my sponsor's social, I'm
Yeah.
accustomed to that. I might
Mm.
not like it because it made me feel invisible, um, but for them, and they've served, and they
Mhm.
have physical injuries, they have emotional and mental injuries just like men. And to
Mhm.
not be recognized as the sailor, as the soldier, as the airman, as the Marine. I don't know what the Coast Guard calls themselves, but as one who has served in the Coast Guard, they've served. And so to have to say, no, I'm the veteran. No,
Right.
I'm the veteran. Like, I'm the veteran.
Yeah. It's true. It's
Right.
true.
Right. And then again, like we were saying at the top of the broadcast, to learn that it's only been since the 80s that they got full access to full VA benefits.
Yeah.
Wow. Like my brother was born in the 80s. That's not
It's
that long
true.
ago.
It's true.
Right. That is not that long ago. So you want to find out more about um, how you can support women veterans. Look up those two organizations, phenomenal organizations to help support female veteran initiatives. Um,
Mhm.
yes, we do have to include the Space Force. Thank you,
Mhm.
Lisa. I keep forgetting about them. So,
Mhm.
and in the Space Force as well, we'll soon start having veterans to come out of there. Um, yes, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Lisa says her son, fiance is a female veteran. We have to support the female veterans. We have to support all veterans. Um,
Amen.
but lifting up and bringing awareness to a community that is not properly recognized for the service that they do, to have been women in military service in every war campaign, not just some,
Yeah.
every,
It's
and
true.
to not be recognized. That's gotta, I can't even imagine. So yes, we're
Yeah.
gonna recognize them for the service, the amazing service that they do and have
Amen.
done. Yeah. Well, Miss Lachelle, I know we are 37 minutes over our time frame.
It's been wonderful. I've been wonderful. I've had a good time. I've done a lot of laughing, which is good. Okay. I
Okay,
love to
you know,
laugh.
laughter is medicine, right? Laughter. So, but what we got coming up next, Lachelle? What we got coming up next?
Girl, we have a lot.
We
Okay. We
do.
are going to I don't even have my notes in front of me.
You know, people from the dome, y'all. Be very afraid. Be very afraid.
It's true. But we are going to be working on a project together.
We are. We
A
are.
book project. Yes.
Y'all stay tuned. Like,
Mhm.
stay
We're
locked
doing the book
into the social
project.
media. We have
Yeah, great
several.
things in
Yeah.
2025. Mhm.
2025 is amazing. We've got some great projects coming in. So, can I say this then? I'm gonna say this a little bit. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say this
because
a little bit.
you say it and then it's done, okay? Because
Right, like,
it's
okay,
putting it out there. We
come on
doing
now.
it.
April 2025.
Yes.
April 2025. Y'all go ahead, lock that month in. You be like, Laquita, what day? Does it matter? Does it matter? It
Right.
does. I know it does. So lock this date in, y'all. Lock this date. Let me get back to my calendar because I too didn't come with my notes prepared. I did, but then I got frazzled when my tech wouldn't work. I had to get it together before I came on the camera. Full transparency. So I can laugh. So let me get to the calendar. April 2025,
Mhm.
April 4th and 5th of 2025. Put those two dates down. If you like me, put down the 3rd if you want to come in early. But the event is going to be April 4th and 5th,
Mhm.
tentatively in Stockbridge, Georgia. So
Yeah.
we coming to Georgia, y'all.
Y'all coming to Georgia?
Coming to Georgia. We are coming to Georgia. And Lachelle and I are collaborating together for an amazing conference. You don't
Mhm.
want to miss it. And my military community, outside of my military community, you don't want to
Mhm.
miss this. You do not. We've got some uh, good speakers that are being lined up. These are going to be 2 phenomenal days. I may as well say 3. May as well say 3 if we're going to
Yeah,
include
if they get there before or they
yeah,
wanna stay over.
if they
Yeah.
want to stay after. So it's going to
Mhm.
be 3 wonderful days that you do not want to miss. So phenomenal speakers, myself and my husband, Ben Munley. Shout out to him and Lachelle and her amazing husband, Mr.
Mhm.
Jerome. I almost said Jerome in the house, but I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna
We coming in the house though. We doing that Veterans Day.
right. We coming in the house. So yeah, so that's right. Veterans Day. We have an online collaboration that we're doing, an online event that we're doing on Veterans Day together.
Mhm.
And then in April, we are doing an in-person event together.
Yes.
and Stockbridge, Georgia. So lock that in. Get your time off. Go on and submit for it now. Get
Yeah.
your time off so you can be with us in Stockbridge, Georgia on
Mhm.
April 4th and 5th of 2025. Lock that in for sure. Lock
Mhm.
that in. Stephanie says, speaking prophetically, ladies, that's it.
Amen.
This is happening. This is happening, Lisa. And
That
you
yeah,
really should come from Colorado to see us. Like you really should.
absolutely. The
Yes.
weather will be fine.
Yes.
Okay.
It
A
will
lot
not be
better, I'm
snowing
sure,
in
than
Georgia.
Col
I don't know if you be melted. If the ice caps
Mhm.
will be melted in Colorado in April. Hello,
Mhm.
LinkedIn user. We appreciate you for popping in tonight. So get that
Mhm.
locked in. Um, Veterans Day coming up. We're
Yes.
having a live event coming up on Veterans Day. You don't want to miss that. You'll see the advertisements come out about that this week,
Yes.
and as well as April 4th and 5th of 2025. We have an
Mhm.
in-person conference taking place in Stockbridge, Georgia. More information about that is coming soon, among other things, because collaboration is the key, right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Yes. Collaboration over competition every day of the week.
Every day.
It is the win. It is the win. Well, listen, Miss Lachelle, it's been wonderful having you.
I
Lisa and everyone that has joined us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dr. Kimberly Adams showed up in the house tonight. Loved her energy and her value. Mac, love your energy and the value that you added. Raquel
Mhm.
May David, thank you for coming into the space tonight as well. My very own mom, Kimberly Martin, thank you for showing up. Juan, thank you so much for showing up as well. And so I feel like I'm missing some folks. I'm trying to go back up here through the comments to
Mac,
see.
Melanie.
Mac, Melanie, thank you for coming in the space. Dr. Geneva Williams, thank you so much for coming in the space. I want to say this is Yolanda Chin, but I hope I'm not saying
Mhm.
your name wrong. Miss Yolanda, thank you for coming in and adding value to the conversation. Miss Queenie Donaldson, thank you so much for
Mhm.
coming in and adding some amazing value to the conversation as well. Listen, if I didn't mention you, thank you for coming in to each and every one of you. To those of you that will be watching on the replay, we appreciate you and thank you so much. If you're not already subscribed to Laquita's Toolbox, hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons so that you don't miss out on any new episodes that we release. Today was a special episode because me and Lachelle wanted to talk about the our experiences at the Military Influencers Conference in Atlanta just a couple of weeks ago. But our normal broadcast is every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, yes, you will see me again on Thursday with another amazing guest. Set your notifications right now so that you don't forget. And we drop new audio episodes every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, that's just a couple of hours, y'all. In a couple of hours, you get a
Mhm.
new audio version of Laquita's Toolbox that is dropping. Collaboration over competition is the way. Yes, Mr. or Mrs. LinkedIn user, I totally
Mhm.
agree. Collaboration over competition is most definitely the way. Lachelle, before I sign off, is there anything you'd like to leave with the Toolbox audience?
Well, first, I just want to thank you for having me. I always enjoy coming on your platform. I have a lot of fun, and it just had me thinking about when we first met in person. We
Yes.
came to an event that you were a part of, and we met you in the hotel, me and my husband, and your husband was there, and they were like, "So, how long have y'all known each other?" We're like, we're just meeting for the first time.
Time in person, like we had really only known each other what a couple of weeks. Yeah, it
I
was that
mean,
long.
it was really crazy. They thought
Yes,
we were some childhood friends or something, which how quickly we
yes.
connected.
Yeah,
But
Bill was like, "What duty station?" I don't remember because we were never stationed together.
they're like, "What is happening?" But that's the power of online.
It is.
When you
It
have
is.
these virtual calls and connecting with people, I think it really can be powerful. I've met a lot of people on Clubhouse, and I see them in person. It's like I feel like I've known them forever because I think it's the intimacy of talking about life issues. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe that's it. But
I know that's
mhm,
you hit the nail on the head, because when we had that first coffee chat, it was as if we had been childhood friends, or at least had known each other through our husbands' careers.
mhm,
It was that piece of the military and that piece of having a lot of kids. Like,
yeah,
I have 5. That's not a small number. It's not
right,
15, but it's not a small number. So we
true,
had so many things in common, and even, our entrepreneurial journeys. You overcoming the depression. I overcame depression. Like, we
mhm,
had so many things in common. Um,
mhm,
your walk with Christ and coming to the realization of who God called you to be,
mhm,
and that the things and stuff didn't measure. It wasn't a measuring stick at all for
mhm,
your unique identity in Christ, and me having come to that same thing. Like, we had so many things in common. Like, I'm sure we could sit down and list a whole bunch of stuff we don't agree on or don't have in common. But it's the commonalities that brought us together
yeah.
that made my husbands think we obviously have been friends for years, and they just were never told about it. Like,
It was true. It was true. My husband was falling asleep because he was working nights or something. So
yeah,
it
because
was
he
just
should have
like
been
we were
sleeping. He
family.
was at,
Family fall
right.
asleep on you.
He was he came in. So let's be fair to Jerome. Jerome had done work like a double or a triple or something. And then
Yeah,
here he
something. It
come.
was a double. Yeah.
And where we were was not a short trip from your house, number one.
Right. It was like an hour away.
An
Yeah.
hour away. And this man had got off work after, like, seriously, we saying it funny, but
Right.
he was running on fumes.
A soldier. That's what he
Yes,
was.
he
Right.
was running on fumes to come out and meet us. And we had an amazing time. And I wasn't even the best person in this. So this is our first time meeting in person.
Yeah.
And I was graduating. So the event
Yeah.
was graduating
Hmm.
um, with my PhD,
Yeah.
but I was also promoting my book.
Yes.
And so my publisher was there
Yeah.
setting up setting up opportunities for me to meet people and greet people, and all while I was supposed to be talking to y'all. No, she came. We did it before y'all got there. Then
Uh-huh.
after y'all got there, she'd set up some stuff and came over and said, "Hey, Laquita, can you come do blah 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 blah?" And I think I might have left y'all there for like an hour and a half. Like,
You did good. I mean, hey, I understand. I'm in marketing. So I was good and we ate and everything. So yeah, it was all good. But it's so
but the
back to
power,
what I was saying.
yeah,
What I'm saying is we just felt like we had known each other forever. And
yeah.
I just think it would not have happened if we didn't do whatever we did on LinkedIn.
Mm.
It's the reaching out. You never know where a conversation could go.
Conversation.
That's what I was trying to get to. Because
Without that LinkedIn
yeah,
conversation to reach out and say, "Hey, let's get on a Zoom,"
right.
and the rest is literal. It's yeah. We met all this good synergy you see in this friendship started with exchanging comments on LinkedIn posts, and
Mhm.
then exchanging one or two messages on the
Yeah.
DM, and then setting up the Zoom.
And we were on that Zoom for, I don't know. It might have been like an hour or something. Or was it like 2 hours? I don't
It was
know.
probably more like
Hey,
2 hours.
Devontae.
Yes, I'm still on the live. And now you are too.
Oh, Lord. He's like, I've had enough of him. I'm going to, whether you're on camera or not, you're about to get this baby.
Say hi, Pie. Just say
Hey.
hi. Hi,
That's just like
Granny.
my household, girl. Okay. You see what I'm saying? A lot
Right.
going on.
This is what happened when you go over the time. Everybody in your house saying you need to be done.
Right.
That's what they're saying.
You know, they're trying to say it without saying it. Okay.
The next person that's gonna come and open the door to this
Oh,
office is going to
Lord.
be Ben, and he's just gonna open the door and stand there and stare at me.
Well, you know,
And
the
stare
thing
at
about
me.
it is, look, be careful what you put out there. You said behind the scenes.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? I did, and I wrote that caption. Like
Yeah. So
I
you
wrote
did
that
it, girl.
caption, and today has definitely been that from beginning till now.
It's true. It's true. I
All
love it. I
listen,
love
you know I love you. All of this started
it.
with the LinkedIn conversation.
Yeah.
Our relationship started over a LinkedIn conversation, a Zoom call, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is
Mhm.
definitely a divine connection. And I'm excited about it.
Me too. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to more to come. We'll be back on Veterans Day,
Hmm.
saluting our spouses as vets. And,
Yes.
it's going to be fun because
It's,
this is the first
yes.
time my husband's going to be on with us being on a show together as
Mine too.
co-hosts.
So as
Okay.
co-host, so me and my
Right.
husband have not co-hosted a podcast before.
Right.
We've been guests on other people's stuff. And so then he
Uh-huh.
was on Good Behavior. I
Yeah.
have no idea what's going to happen on Veterans Day.
We don't know. Okay.
No.
Just make sure they have some coffee and don't fall asleep. Okay.
That part. That part. Or you
I
won't be
love
in a food coma from all the barbecue.
it. Right. Exactly. Hmm.
So y'all stay tuned because being a Jerome, we get along really good. Those
Yeah.
two just cut up. So we can't even say
Yeah.
they didn't. They did. They cut up. They,
They
they
did.
cut up real good. So I
Mhm.
I'm excited about what's gonna be in the conversation. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little
Yeah.
nervous.
I say just be ready to laugh. Okay.
That
That's what I
part.
say.
That's what y'all do. Be ready to laugh. Be ready to laugh because
Mhm.
they will show up as their authentic selves, live in living
Absolutely.
color.
Absolutely. This is true.
It
You
is
got it.
for sure. Well, listen, y'all. It has been good.
Mhm.
This is definitely long form content, Lachelle. This is definitely long form content. Great conversation. As always, and those of you that have joined us throughout the show, we appreciate y'all. I still see a couple of people coming in the room. Appreciate you for coming in. If you're
Mhm.
just joining us, Lachelle and I have been just having amazing fun. We've talked about so many things, collaboration over competition. We've talked about the power of networking, how to network a little bit more effectively, how to make sure that your follow up what is your follow-up process? We've talked about self-innovation based out of Romans 8 and 28, and our lives as military spouses. We just dipped and dude in a lot of areas, didn't we?
Yeah.
So feel free
Brought
to
the family in,
but you
grandkids.
missed my adorable grandson. Just hit rewind. You can see him. He is Granny's
It's
little chocolate drop. Yes,
We
he
did
is.
some prop setup with you going down and coming back
I
up.
disappeared off the screen. I didn't even know it. I disappeared off the screen.
Oh man, it's
Yeah,
fun.
this is let's see what happened on let's see what happened on Veterans Day.
Yes.
Fun and exciting things are gonna happen.
Mhm.
But
I'm looking forward to it, girl. I'm
me
looking
too.
forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
But thanks so much for having me. This was fun.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for coming. Viewers, thank y'all for coming in the room as well. Hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. Let's get this conversation out to as many people as possible. Until next time, I am your host, Laquita Monley. You guys be blessed, amazingly blessed, and have an amazing rest.